Hey, welcome to my channel. Tools, tips, and tales. Tools to transform, tips to empower, and tales to inspire. I'm Kim Saff, licensed clinical social worker. I have my doctorate in transpersonal psychology. I've been doing this over 20 years, and this is me helping you transform your life. Oh, yeah. All right, what I want to talk to you today about is self-talk. Yeah, we're typically almost always all talking to ourselves, whether we hear it real loud and aggressive or soft and insidious. It's in there and it's happening, right? So you hear a lot about positive self-talk and showing up and talking to yourself positively and positive affirmations, and I've already been teaching you mantras, and I'm all about that, and we're going to do that, right? But first, what we want to do is unpack what we've been doing. Yeah. We want to raise our awareness, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 process. Awareness, acceptance without judgment and with compassion, and choice is at working for me or working me, right? So first stage, awareness. So we're going to raise our awareness to what your self-talk is. And how we're going to raise our awareness is the witness perspective. Step outside, witness your own process, and start listening to your self-talk. Listen to what you're saying to yourself up there. Yeah, now remember, if it's negative, if it's attacking, if it's shaming, if it's critical, it's coming from your fear and insecure side, right? And remember, the goal of fear and insecure side is to protect you, trying to keep you safe. But the way your fear and insecure side will keep you safe is by keeping you small, keeping you stuck, keeping you doing what you've always done, because your fear and insecure side will take the known pain over the fear of the unknown, right? So anything we're coming up with when we start listening for our self-talk, we're just coming to understand it's coming from my fear and insecure side, and it's their way to try and keep me safely, stuckly small in my pit, feeling not good enough or too much, covered with lids, right? Okay, so we're not criticizing any talk that we come across. We're just raising our awareness to it and actually learning to show up to it with acceptance without judgment, with compassion. We're going to make sense of where that negative self-talk came from, right? So if I learned to talk negatively to myself from my family of origin, if my parents or the people that raised me spoke negatively to themselves, to each other, to me, that's what I learned. And I learned how to have negative self-talk. I learned to show up to myself critically. If I didn't learn anything differently, how am I going to know to do different now, right? So it makes sense where I learned to speak negatively to myself and show up with disdain and criticism and shame and judgment, right? And then choice is that working for me or working me. Well, it's working me. I feel bad about myself. I don't feel comfortable in my skin, right? I'm name calling. It doesn't feel good. It's working me. And then we learn to show up differently with positive self-talk, positive affirmations, without judgment, with compassion, right? All right, so that's what I want you to do with your tool for the day is I want you to start listening to your self-talk. Yeah. And see if you can make sense of it. If it's negative, see if you can make sense of where you learned how to do that and why you learned to do that. And then really assess, is that working for me or working me? We live up or down to the expectations we set for ourselves or we let others set for us. So if I'm telling myself I'm a loser, I won't amount to nothing, I'm no good, I burden everyone, I'm too much, well, that's what I will live right down to. All right, so what we're saying to ourselves matters. But before we change it, we need to know where we're at. Yeah. So raise your awareness and then go through the 1, 2, 3 process on your self-talk. All right, enjoy.